And with less than 5 months until voters in New Hampshire go to the polls in the state's Republican primary, GOP presidential candidates are campaigning throughout the state. Mike Pence and Vivek Ramaswamy were among the candidates at the Republican Party's Labor Day picnic on Monday. But after a tense exchange at last month's GOP debate, they did not come face to face. Mr. Pence left for another event ahead of Ramaswamy taking the stage.
Elections are about choices. And I believe we need new leadership in the White House, but I also believe we need new leadership in the Republican Party.
I am genuinely worried that that American dream will not exist for my two sons and their generation unless we all do something about it.
And former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson is also campaigning in New Hampshire, and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley will also hold events in the state later today. Joining me now with more is Republican strategist Boyd Matheson. He's also a TV and radio host for KSL in Salt Lake City. Boyd, I know you know all of these guys and gals who are taking to the stage here in New Hampshire. This is an exciting time, but I do want to ask you about Mike Pence and Vivek Ramaswamy. Both campaigned in New Hampshire on Monday. Mr. Pence is holding a town hall today, while Asa Hutchinson and Nikki Haley will be campaigning there tonight. How important is New Hampshire?
New Hampshire's always been a critical piece of the puzzle for anyone trying to seek the nomination of either the Democratic or Republican Party. So it is serious, and we're post-Labor Day now, so things are back in focus, and the American public will start to pay a little more attention. So I think the messages coming out over the next several weeks are going to be so vital leading up to that next debate stage for each of these candidates to really show, hey, I'm not just good at a soundbite. I actually have some real policy to discuss. I actually have a vision for the future of the country. And so, again, post-Labor Day, things are starting to get serious now.
Boyd, you and I have both heard former candidates describe New Hampshire as tough because it's so diverse. How do you effectively campaign in New Hampshire if you are former Ambassador Haley as opposed to former Vice President Mike Pence?
I think that's a great question, Nick, because I think Nikki Haley actually fits quite well into the New Hampshire model. She's really running kind of a general election campaign, and that plays well in New Hampshire. As you mentioned, the diversity there, the wide range of thought, even within the Republican Party. Nikki Haley is well suited to do well in New Hampshire. She's got to take some great moments on the debate stage from Milwaukee and translate that into a vision and a cohesive platform for people. Mike Pence, on the other hand, has got to continue to show that he's tough, that he's committed to the Constitution. Again, he did that really well in Milwaukee. Now he's got to do the same thing and parlay that into a little bit of momentum. It's one thing to have a nice moment, but in order to win this thing, you actually have to have that momentum, build the ground game. That's where it actually happens.
Boyd, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is reportedly seeing support in New Hampshire from Democrats. Could support from Democrats switching their party affiliation to vote for Christie have any effect in that primary?
It well could. It's really interesting. Chris Christie is clearly running a more general election. He has his one segment of his campaign, which is all about being against the former president. But he actually does quite well when he talks about some of the things he did as governor of New Jersey. And this is the real conundrum for some of these candidates is in order to have a chance to win in the fall of 2024, you actually have to win in the spring, and that includes places like New Hampshire. And so it's a really interesting juxtaposition to try to figure out how do you make sure you have the right things to win a primary election in the spring, but also make sure you're viable for the entire country when it gets to the fall.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.